Hello everyone, Zach here, and it's a 2v2 arena map with 4 players who you probably won't recognise because they're not quite as pro as I usually show you. We're currently on the arena map, as I just said, and we've got in red Wacko playing as Turks. We've got Sheep Master. Where did I get Sleep from? I've got no idea. Sheep Master in purple as Chinese. Blue is playing as Mayans, his name is Rubio, and yellow is playing as Spanish, and he is Caton. I'm guessing that is how it's pronounced, something along those lines anyway. And as I said, it's arena. Now, you're probably thinking already that those civilizations seem very unfair, and you would be right. Mayans versus Turks on this side, and we've got Spanish versus Chinese on this side, and really they're quite unfair civilizations. Spanish particularly very strong, Mayans with their strong economy, and plumed archers are pretty good against Janissaries as well as other Turkish units. So I think these guys are going to have their work cut out for them, and sometimes it's just so hard to come back from something that's like so unfair and unbalanced. And I've got to say now, this is why I'm not too keen on Castle Blood and other custom scenarios that rely purely, well, not purely, but a lot on luck. Now, it's very clear that sometimes one civilization will completely outdo another. And it's to be expected. In every RTS game, there's always one civilization or one race that is extremely overpowered against another. Well, usually anyway. And it's the case in Age of Empires as well. You know, there are some civilizations out there that would just absolutely kick ass against any other civilization. And for that reason, I'm not that keen on games like Castle Blood, where it comes down to a lot about luck, because if you're doing a 1v1 Castle Blood and, for instance, you get Spanish against Japanese. Now, alright, yeah, Japanese are a good civilization, Spanish are a good civilization, but the Spanish elite unit, Conquistadors, against the Japanese elite unit, the Samurai, the Conquistadors just absolutely kill the Samurai because they're able to micro away. The Samurai can't do any damage, and they haven't got amazing pierce armor either. So the Samurais get absolutely owned, and therefore the Spanish player ends up winning usually, unless the Samurai can get some raises or something along those lines. Now, it's often the case that you can have very unfair games when using the random civilization picker, and you've just got to do the most you can to really deal with it. And I think that also makes the difference between a good player and a pro or an expert. Now, these guys are good players. I think they're rated about 1900 or nearly 2000, and they're definitely good. There's no doubt about that. But I would say that they aren't expert, and you'll see the difference with this soon enough. Yellow, interestingly, I noticed this earlier. He's actually gone for berry bushes instead of deer patches, because he has got his deer patch here. And he doesn't seem to be scouting much with his scout either. Or maybe that's just because I've not been looking properly. Oh, where is he? Canton or Caton? Yeah, he's done a little bit of scouting. That's all he really needs to know. But yeah, it just surprised me that he's only just gone onto these deer rather than hitting it. Well, he hits berry bushes first rather than the deer. That's all there is to it, really. But yeah, I think he's got off to a fairly decent start. And I think they all have, really. It's quite hard to get off to a bad start in arena unless you do something really dodgy, purely because you've got these walls, and obviously you're not going to be harassed really early game. For Turks, then, it's often a good strategy to use the Fast Imperial, because you can get out a lot of powerful units early on, such as the Bombard Cannon, and take out their walls and just cut through their base because you've got a stronger army than them. However, Rubio is likely to be getting out plumed archers, because that would be the most effective unit against the Turks. Now, we know that Turkish Janissaries have an attack bonus against infantry, which makes the Eagle Warriors pretty much ineffective. However, because of the fast speed of the plumed archers, and the fact that they've got pretty decent range, and they're a pretty cheap unit as well. They only cost something like 36 food and 36 wood, so they're pretty cheap to build. You can get a lot of them out, and compared to the Janissaries, they will be able to beat them because they'll be able to have a larger number of them, and they'll be able to just run in, take out a few, and then run away before the Janissaries can do too much damage. So Wacko really needs to get to the Imperial Age as fast as he can. As you can see, he's advancing to the Castle Age now. In about 16 minutes, he'll be there, and that's a good time. And he's got 31 villagers as well, which indicates that he could be going for a fast Imperial strategy. Notice as well he's got quite a lot of stone collectors, indicating he's going to get a castle up as soon as he can. And a Rubio the same as well, quite a few stone collectors, and looking at his stone count, it looks like he's definitely going to be getting a castle up as soon as he can. As you can see then, he's on 30 villagers and Wacko is on 30. Also in Arena, it tends to be that the two nearest opponents attack each other, so you're looking at Wacko versus a Rubio and Sheepa Master versus Katon. However, if you have got a cavalry civilization, it can be a good help to help your opponent out with some paladins or some heavy camels by sending them across the map to help out where you can. It is important to note though that these guys really are disadvantaged due to the fact that their civilizations that they're playing against are so much overpowered against them. Another look then at Conquistadors versus Chinese. Well, the Chinese Chuko Nu, which is their elite unit, has pretty short range, and the Conquistadors, obviously being on horseback, means that they're very easy to micromanage and really do hit and runs. So the Chuko Nu versus the Conquistador really isn't very fair at all, so you'd expect the Conquistador to win, and I'm sure that will be demonstrated shortly as well. So Conquistadors, you know, pretty powerful unit actually, especially when they get upgraded to the Elite Conquistador. And really, the fact that they're on horseback lends very much in their favour. So what can we expect Sheep Master to be able to do? Chinese, they're quite limited really. They don't have much, well, they don't have strong normal cavalry, like they can't upgrade knights to paladins. They are stuck with camels. You could expect heavy camels perhaps. Heavy camels, of course, strong against horse units, which means that the Conquistadors would probably be weak against the heavy camels. I can't say for sure though, I think they probably will be. So we look expecting heavy camels from purple, and we're expecting Conquistadors from yellow. From red, from blue, I've already said, plumed archers, and interesting there, a petard. So it only takes 2 petards to bust through one of these stone walls, so we can expect that that's what's going to happen here, and a Rubio has indeed got an extra petard out. So he's going to try and go for a bust on red. Red has got a castle here though, which is obviously a nice thing for him to have, because if a petard does do a bust on the wall anywhere, you want to kind of be able to, you want to be able to defend it. It makes sense that you'd want to be able to defend it. Wacko then, not really with a very fast Imperial. He's probably going to be going there sometime soon, but he's focusing on creating a little bit of an army to protect himself for the time being. He had some Janissaries out there. I thought they'd gone off, wandering off. I don't know if that was a petard bust or not. I kind of just missed that. It looks like it could have been. Oh, actually no, the petards are down here. Petard bust going there, and that's not really much use to a Rubio because obviously it's too close to the castle, and you can't get his plumed archers near to the castle. As you can see there as well, the plumed archers actually got some shots off onto the Janissaries, and I think they almost killed one off without losing one at all. So you can see how the plumed archers are going to be effective against the Janissaries here. Not really much going off over this side of the map. It's very common on Arena that both players will try and boom where they can, or all players will try and boom where they can, and then fight it out once they're in the Imperial Age. That's something we seem to see less of when we're watching pros, purely because they try and get it over with, or at least put the pressure on earlier on in the game. So now a Rubio coming out with some plumed archers, and I would check the tech tree very quickly to see how much they actually cost, but it would really mess up the recording, and I don't really want to have to be doing that. So Wacko's pretty safe for the time being. He's repaired his wall, and there's no chance that a Rubio is going to be getting in there with just plumed archers. It's also important to note as well that both Spanish and Mayans can get siege rams, and siege rams are one of the best siege you can have, really. The trebuchets and siege rams are the top of the game when it comes to demolishing castles and the like. Now, siege rams just they take such a battering that the Janissaries aren't really going to be able to do too much against them, and also they're just going to be able to get into anywhere that they start attacking very quickly if they aren't met with much resistance at all. So down to the bottom of the map, Sheep Master, quite heavily into stone, no doubt going to be getting a castle up as soon as he can, if he's not already got one. He's already got one there, so still continuing to collect quite a lot of stone, probably going to get another castle out when he can. Caton then, already moving forwards with a castle, and he's obviously going to be piling the pressure on now fairly early. As we can see, Conquistador already out, and that was pretty quick actually. He's already got Conquistador out of that castle. Another castle going up here as well, and more Conquistadors on the way. Picking up relics, always good practice to do so. Relic there outside of a Rubio's base, I think he's already got one. And as you can see, everyone's just about advancing to the Imperial Age now. Rubio is on his way, Wacko is just about there, Caton is already Imperial, and Sheepmaster Imperial too. I would say that these players' ability is very similar, because obviously they're all advancing around the same time, and they're all playing fairly evenly. However, Caton is already piling the pressure on now. He's just reached the Imperial Age, straight out with a trebuchet to try and take out this castle, and Sheepmaster creating Chuko news. Not sure why he's creating Chuko news. I thought it was pretty common knowledge that the Spanish Conquistador would be able to absolutely kick ass there. And as you can see as well, 3 castles in a line, quite an offensive positioning for them. Another trebuchet deploying now onto this castle, and that's probably going to go down. Meanwhile over here, we've got Wacko going with the standard Turkish build, with the bombard cannons and the Janissaries. Going to be able to take out that wall pretty quickly and start to roll into Erubio's base. Erubio doesn't actually seem to have much in the way of defence at the moment. His plumed archers, oh there they are, they're over in the centre of his base, but he's not putting up much resistance to this for the time being. Erubio though, more plumed archers on the way. At the moment he's only got normal battering rams. He's upgrading to capture ram. He doesn't want to lose this siege workshop before the research is complete, and I think he'll be able to keep it for the time being. Over on the other side of the map then, we've got Sheepmaster and Caton. Caton just going straight in with the siege rams and the trebuchets, and as I said, really, I don't think Sheepmaster was expected to be attacked so early, if I'm totally honest. He's not really got much defence against this at the moment, which is kind of unfortunate for him, really. He is producing heavy camels, though, so that could be a saving grace for him. If he can keep these stables producing for the time being before these trebuchets take them out, a quick run in there with the heavy camels, and he'll be able to take out the Conquistadors fairly nicely actually. He's doing a good job there. However, castles castles against heavy camels, not a good combination, and Sheepmaster quickly killed off once he got into range of those castles. So now Sheepmaster is in a really bad situation. He's got a lot of resources actually. He's not spending them very well at all, and that's going to cost him. Also got a Rubio coming in with some plumed archers, and now we're going to get to see how plumed archers against Janissaries kick ass. Now, as you can see, Janissaries absolutely getting mowed down there, and the plumed archers just taking that pretty damn easily indeed. Just the speed of the plumed archers, able to take out those Janissaries like they were nothing. And now we've got a Rubio coming straight into Wacko's face with the siege rams. And really, I don't think Wacko's got much to deal with this. Siege rams obviously are so resistant to bombard cannon fire, Janissary fire. They're able to just power their way in there. Meanwhile, over this side of the map, we've got a Caton just pushing forwards, more castles. That's 5 castles there for him, and really Sheepmaster isn't able to get out enough heavy camels. He's got a lot of resources available to him, he's just not getting the units out that he needs, and he's not getting them out fast enough either. The heavy camels, if he had, say, another 20 heavy camels, he'd be able to do so much damage to these Conquistadors, but it's not happening at the moment, and the siege rams are just rolling in, and the heavy camels are getting cooked a bit. Over at Wacko's base, not really much happening. Rubio pulling back with the siege rams, and looks like he's going to be heading in again. A couple of nice shots there from the bombard cannons, but bombard cannons going to get picked off by the plumed archers if they stay in range for too long. And I just noticed as well, Rubio's only just got the plumed archer upgrades. They've got 6 pierce armor now, which is a nice amount indeed. And they've also got the same range as the Janissary, I believe. Yeah, they've got the same range now as well. So plumed archers, once upgraded, are extremely strong against Janissaries. Sheepmaster giving it up because Katon has just absolutely kicked his ass, and unfortunately that's good game, and Rubio and Katon win it. Now, I think that's kind of quite a good example of how unbalanced civilizations can really just win a game no matter what happens. I wouldn't say that Sheepmaster played that to the best of his ability. He definitely could have had a lot more heavy camels out. He still had a lot of resources at the end of the game. He just wasn't able to spend them as well as he should have done. Overall, though, Katon put a good army together with the Conquistadors and the Siege Rams, with a few elite skirmishers just to fend off any Janissaries that were coming in as well. And over on this side, obviously a Rubio with the elite plumed archers, able to kill off any Janissaries that were thrown at him, and also with the siege rams, very resistant to Janissary fire and also bombard cannon fire as well. So it was really unfair towards Sheepmaster and Wacko, and this is what I say, when you're not a pro player, it's very hard to fend off attacks from people who are playing civilizations that are extremely overpowered against you. So overall, it was quite a good game. Um, as I said, it probably is a little bit unfair, but this just shows you how powerful a good combination of civilizations can be, and how you can use that to your advantage if you do get um, that advantage in your favor. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Zach, and I'll see you next time.